I didn't know that we were getting that music. Howdy, howdy. Welcome to NFL Prop Picks powered by the Blitz on covers. I'm Josh Ingalls. He's Derek Carty, the mind behind the numbers. Just saw you 9:30 in the morning, Derek. Welcome to the live show. We were still chasing some numbers as we were going, as things were moving. But I think long term, at the end of the day, this is probably the better format to get all those numbers.
Yeah, at least so that everyone has kind of an equal opportunity to get them. Our numbers have moved since what I wanted them to be at this morning, but we still have some good ones.
Yeah, welcome everybody there in the chat. Good day. We are here now. We'll be doing Wednesday, 2:15, live releases for Thursday Night Football. And then we'll be doing the Sunday night and Monday night releases Friday. Same time, 2:15 Eastern time. And we'll be releasing it. So let's go. Hit that like button right now if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button too. Lots of stuff coming out, tons of content. But let's go. Thursday Night Football, Dallas at the Giants. Dallas out to a 6-point favorite. Total up to 45.5. We were just trying to look at the injury report because it was pretty significant for the Giants on that end. And that's kind of why we've seen this number move. But they'll be without Drew Phillips and Adoree Jackson. So that poor secondary already banged up, in trouble. And I think a lot of it we saw last week, right? They won. They beat Cleveland. Well, guess what? Cleveland lost every one of their offensive linemen within that game. And Deshaun Watson got sacked 8 times. If there's one strength to the Giants, it's on their D-line. And that kind of played into it. So where are you, before we get into the plays, to put you right on the spot? Where are you on a side within this game? Or I know you get he's got to pull up the numbers, but are you projecting Dallas to win and maybe more passing on the Giants side?
Just kind of like my own impression, it's like the Giants are terrible. Dallas should be a big favorite. The Blitz thinks they should be a smaller favorite than they actually are right now, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
But I think the Cowboys are a lot better than the Giants.
Yeah, I think I got some -5.5s. I got some over 45, so sitting with a little bit of there. But let's get right to it. Leans and plays. Lots of people why you got leans? Why you got plays? There's confidence. There's confidence in certain plays. When we ask Derek to make plays on certain primetime games, that's what we do. So let's get right to it. A play. Now, you're going to have to defend yourself with this one, Derek, but if you know anything about betting sharp numbers and betting Derek stuff, it's the ugly plays. Get used to betting on ugly things, and this is it. Play Ezekiel Elliott over 7.5 carries, -105. We still there. -105. That's at Bet365. This number's pretty much widely available right now, but we've seen it drop. We had it at plus money. 10 to 6 to 3 carries. And you'll hear me talk about box score handicapping pretty much throughout this release, but a lot of that has to do with Dallas just kind of getting blown out of the water early in games. Do you expect Elliott, who this market's going up, you expect him to get 8+? No,
I do. Yeah. And I think what you said about game log hunting is exactly what the book's line is based on right here. I think it's he's been going down the last couple of weeks. He hasn't gotten there. But you have to consider the context of it. Dallas so far has played one game where they've been playing from ahead, and Zeke got the bulk of the carries. The other 2, they've been trailing, and Dowdle was in more. We saw Mike McCarthy come out this week after week 3's game and say 2 things that I thought were really important. One, that Zeke playing so few snaps last week was a byproduct of the game script, which this week against the Giants, you would think they'll be playing from ahead most of the game. It's a Zeke game script. He also said that he wants to run the ball more, which just in general is nice, because even if Zeke isn't the lead back, if they're just running a little bit more in general, that's going to give him an extra carry or 2 maybe. So I like that. And then I like that this could wind up being an ugly weather game. There's some rain in the forecast, which generally leads teams to run the ball more as well. So there's kind of a lot here with Zeke where I think this number is far too low for him. Let me see what the actual projection is. Blitz is projecting about 10.
So Rico's is about what? Nah, Rico's is 10, I think, too. On the other
Rico's
side,
9.5.
nine and a half. So, like, even that together, the 18 carries for the two backs kind of seems like a low number out of the gate, just for a team that's a pretty decent favorite.
Yeah, I mean, they are a pass heavy team, but they say they want to run a little bit more. They are a pretty big favorite now. I would think they'll run more than 18 times. We'll have to see. I'm almost originally I was tempted to take the Dowdle under as well, just for all the reasons of Zeke. This being more of a Zeke game script and the market being higher on Dowdle. Because of wanting to run more, because of the weather, because of the uncertainty, I think I'm just going to take Elliott. Like, they're very highly correlated plays or reverse negatively correlated plays. So I'm not going to take the under on Dowdle, but I'm not taking the over on him either.
Question from the chat: how does the Elliott yards project there? Pull that up.
Quick. Not quite as well. He projects about 6 yards over the line. There's 27.5 minus 102, I think, is the best number out there now. It shows some value, but not as much as the carries.
Okay. And if you've bet a lot with the blitz, get used to those softer markets, the receptions, the carries. There's a lot to like about them, and I think they're a little easier to somewhat predict in terms of yards, which sometimes has a bigger variance in terms of the output. So Dallas should be ahead of this game. He should get more carries. Absolutely. That's kind of where it is. If they're playing ahead in this game, it's pretty tough for him to get 8 carries. No?
Yeah. I mean, if they're playing from ahead, I would think, I mean, it's a shared backfield, it's a committee, but I would think Zeke is slightly ahead of Dowdle in that case. That's what we saw week 1. It's kind of what McCarthy implied in his comments after week 3. So yeah, I think the market's read on this is a little off.
Okay, hopefully we can get this next number 2, because it's been dropping 30 points since this afternoon, which is kind of bananas, but still showing value enough for a play, but it's getting borderline right here. So play, let's go to same book, 365. We're going to go Devin Singletary under 2.5 receptions plus 110. That's a play. It's there. It's at Bet Rivers as well. Coach Speak Index for the win. Coach Speak Index has been very good. Sometimes
Coach Speak Index is fantastic. I mean, that's where I get all most of my coach quotes and stuff from, is Coach Speak Index. I feel like I mention them all the time, but they deserve it because it's just fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, it is interesting. The more engagement within that stuff, sometimes the less valuable the information is, because it's been priced into the market. You know what I mean? Like, if you find a quote that has like 3 likes or something from a beat writer, you're like, yeah, that's the gold one.
Yeah, the ones that make it onto like the news sites, they tend to to move the market a little bit. But some of the more under the radar quotes that you get, just from Coach Speak Index or in his Discord or whatever, I feel like the market is not onto those yet.
Yes. RotoWire, RotoWorld, all of those write-ups, the Yahoo write-ups in the app, in the fantasy app. Yeah, those are by the time you're reading them, there's probably a good chance that they're baked into the line. So let's go Singletary under 2.5 at plus 110. What was the projection on that spot? And back to box score handicapping, this is the exact same spot. You're looking at it. He's gone over twice. He's got 4 catches in 2 games. But just a 10% target share. And I mean, the market, like I said, has fallen 30 points to the under.
Yeah, most books are minus money right now. I think as low as minus 115 or minus 20. I loved it at the 140. At the 110, I like it just enough to call it a play. I think it's just kind of another reactionary line where, he's gone over this handily in 2 of these games. Don't overreact to small sample sizes. His target share hasn't been massive. Tracy picked up some extra snaps last week. Just projection wise, 3 catches for any running back. I feel like I said this a lot last year. 3 catches for any running back is a lot.
Yes, and you always have to basically have game script in your favor to get that third. It always seems, right?
Which they should have here, which scares me a little, but it is baked into the projection already.
100%. It could go the other way in that sense, right? But like, it's very difficult for a running back to get 3 catches in a winning game, unless it's like, unless it's a team that just kind of dumps off and goes that way. Do you like it at 105 as well from John? I think you still like it. It would probably fall into your lean category. I
Yeah, it'd
think.
be right on the borderline there. Probably a strong lean at that point.
But yeah. There you go. He has to the next one. We talk about the target share. It's pretty bananas what the target share has been ripped off from. We always know like Malik Neighbors' target share is insane, but like him and Wan'Dale Robinson together is like a 65% target share.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild.
The two of those guys have as many targets, combined targets, as Rashee Rice and Amal St. Brown, who are number 2 and 3 in targets.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There was a really good graph today, visual graphic showing quarterbacks making first read throws. And Malik Neighbors obviously there. Like if he wants to throw to Malik Neighbors, it's there. But it's going to be interesting to see what that Dallas defense does on the short week. They're probably like, you got to assume that Dallas is just going to say, stop Neighbors, and then we'll worry about the rest, right?
You would think, but I mean, you'd think that's what would have happened last week too, or the week. Like it just, there's one thing to try to do, and it's another thing to do it. There's no way Neighbors is going to keep up a 40% target share, or whatever he has so far. But he's gonna see lots of targets.
Yeah, I think that receiving total up to about 75.5 for him. Last one, we got a lean because it's moved on us, and we're kind of on the borderline here. Theo Johnson. And you're like, who's Theo Johnson? Well, yeah, he is he's the tight end. His snaps have increased, but he's got a 6% target share despite running a ton of routes in this New York Giants offense. Under 1.5 receptions, plus 123 at Rivers. Where's your buy point on this? Because I know this one has been falling. Is there any value in it at possibly plus 110?
I think I'd say like 115. I'd still call it a lean. After that, there's some value. I'm not going out of my way to bet it.
What are the projections there for Theo?
Yeah, because the other thing too is there's a little bit of uncertainty here with the Giants passing game with Darius Slayton questionable. If he doesn't play, potentially more targets to go around. Maybe they run more 2 tight end sets, maybe just more filter towards you don't know. So yeah, Theo Johnson's not, he hasn't been getting a ton of targets. He's out there a little bit, but not like a crazy amount. Playing from behind here, but also a bad weather game. So the Giants could look to lean on the run a little bit more, especially early if it's raining. It's just kind of a math play here. He projects for, right around the number here, about a 55% win rate. So at plus 123, that's pretty good value.
Joey Bet saying that is a wild target share. Do you think that Neighbors 30 plus is sustainable?
30 plus, I would say probably yes, but it's also very possible no. If you look kind of historically, even just like recent history, like the elite target earners were, like prime Devontae Adams, Michael Thomas, Cooper Kupp. None of them were ever over 35. They were 33.
But were their teams as bad as the Giants who could? That's
true. You never know, but there were years where the Packers really didn't have anybody else, and Aaron Rodgers was intentionally trying to throw to Devontae Adams, and he wasn't getting a highest target share his neighbor has through 3 weeks. So I think it's got to come down, but it's still going to be high.
Another Thursday night under 1.5. Were we on Lazard? Was the Lazard one was last Thursday night, right?
That was last Thursday. Yeah.
I still think that was a great bet. I'll still go back to it this week, I think, because it sat right there.
I went and I was handicapping usage today for all the teams, and I look at the Jets and I see Lazard had like an 8% target share last week, and I'm like, oh my god, like how didn't we win this one? But
I know
he got three balls thrown at him, and he caught all 3.
Yeah, that one's still. I need to get my money back from Lazard on that play. The Giants will be playing from behind, so they're going to look for people to throw the ball to. Yes, that's baked into the projection. That's baked into this.
That is in there.
Especially with the total going up and the spread getting longer. It's affecting these totals, and it's in that spot. But I mean, what the target shares? Wandell and Malik are 62%. Add in Darius Slayton and Devin Singletary, and that pushes it to like 86% between those four guys. Jones has his targets. Jones is not a great quarterback in terms of going through progressions and finding other guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, Malik is turning into an alpha guy who's like, just throw me the ball. And you saw last week what he can do on 50-50 balls. So he doesn't really have to spread it around much. I bet some Wandale myself at 34.5 today, and I like it up to 52. That's what I bet on the over as well at 45. But Rivers dropped to 106 while in my ticket. It's toy flashback. That's never fun. But let's do a quick recap here. Let us know if these numbers have changed, and let us know if you're asking about buy points. We'll let you know where that is. Elliott over 7.5 carries. This has got to be a market load now, I would assume, after week 3 and after what I say 10, 6, and 3. So 9 carries over the last 2 weeks. Game script had a lot to do with it. That's a full-fledged play. Minus 105. We got it there. Then Devin Singletary under 2.5 receptions. Plus 110. That's a play as well. We're seeing that market really fall. Plus 140 it opened at, which is about as high as you can get within that market. And then Theo Johnson under 1.5 receptions, plus 123. That's a lean. That's at Rivers. It's going to move, and it's probably a buy point of around plus 115.
I want to say with the Elliott one, I don't know where it's moved to now, but once it moves to like, minus 125, minus 130, I probably wait and see if it flips to an 8.5 plus money, because I would like that more.
There you go. If it moves too much, moves past maybe your threshold there, wait for the 8.5. We released it at Bet365. So I think I know it better in hockey and baseball, but I think their flip point is somewhere around plus 120 for per carry. No, they had plus 140. So maybe it does go, because it won't go any higher than one number, right? Like it won't go higher than 40. So who knows? You might get plus 130, plus 140 on the 8.5, which would probably be a better buy than what he's saying.
Yeah, that'd be better than the 7.5 we just got.
Okay, there you go. So just keep an eye on that as well. Yahtzee says Flip has Elliott 10 plus at 250.
I like that. I mean, the Blitz is projecting 10. So if you're going to give me 250 on it.
No, I bet we can find if we run it up. Producer Mick, are you still there? Throw up 365. Let's go take a look at the alt real quick. I'm bringing it up on mine, trying to find it. Producer Mick's like, I thought we were done. Nope. I just want to find this number. Go there. Go to same game parlay. No, just go to same. I'll help you through this one. Scroll down to rushing milestones. Right there. There you go. Go to attempts in the second tab, in the second header there. And nice. I don't. That's not a person. I don't know what that is. All right, so we tried to find it. That is interesting. Is that a geo thing from where you are? Let me double check. I'm on mine, because almost every time the Bet365 will have the better price on the milestone. No, I got the exact same thing. I just have a New York Giants, no player, no nothing, and a price. And if I click on it, I got to enter everything in. I don't want to dox myself. I've already lost one 365 account recently. Don't want to lose 2. All right. And then Theo Johnson under 1.5. There's just a heavy target share. 310. Thank you, Reed Phillips. Appreciate it. 310 on 365. So your flip number was 250. It's always price. It's always better there.
Yeah, that's nice. The 310 I like a lot.
If you're into betting milestones like I am, that's your book. It's always your book. And I think really, honestly, I mean, you saw my cards last week. It was milestone heavy from your numbers. You see the projections from Derek's projections. Don't be afraid to have a card of 8 plus money plays. Go 4 for 4 and be profitable. That's one thing that you've taught me recently, Derek, that I think the days of winning 54.5% or whatever it is at minus 110 makes you no, those days are done.
Yeah, the market is just, they're offering us more value on the big plus money stuff. They're getting a little bit sharper with that, minus 110, minus 115 line. So it is what it is. You take what the market gives you, you find where the value is, and that's how you play.
But awesome. I love this format a lot more. Always love interacting with the chat. Always like answering questions. It makes for a much better show than just you guys wouldn't know. Sometimes me and Derek have to do 2 or 3 takes with
Yeah, we
Blitz.
don't have that luxury on the
Now we
live
can't do it.
shows.
Yeah. So appreciate everybody there in the chat. This is what we're going to be doing going forward. So appreciate that. Appreciate Derek, producer Mick as well. We'll be back Friday, 2:15 for Sunday night, big Sunday night game. And then I think we have a double Monday again.
We do
So
have a double Monday.
lots of plays coming again. Me over here not having 365. I know it's tough. It's a tough life, Yahtzee. My life without it now is also tough. Singletary anytime. Menace is just saying Singletary anytime on that TD. He scored TDs in back-to-back weeks. Will he make it 3? Always shop around, though. Prices vary. All right, leave it at that. Appreciate it, Derek. NFL prop picks powered by the Blitz on covers. We'll be back here Friday, 2:15 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks.